Good morning, dear diary. So, this morning I want to kind of do a part two to the video that I made last week about um single motherhood and the stigma and everything that surrounds being a single mom. Um, I just basically more so today want to delve in the side of the conversation that isn't really spoken about. I know a couple of months ago Dr. Umar was getting a lot of backlash on an interview that he did when he was calling out black men in the community, saying that the stereotype of Pookie and Ray Ray should not ever even exist in the community if black men were doing their part to mentor and to father other black boys in the community that's not their own children. And I think that that's such a valid point because, like I say all the time, our community and the systemic things that have been put into place to destroy our community. Our community would have been destroyed a long time ago if it wasn't for the mothers, the aunties, the grandmas, the women in the community standing in the gap to protect the children from a lot of the things that are targeted to our community. And so the women on the other side, the people who stand in the gap to keep it all together on the other side of the conversation, gets the blame. And in that particular interview, the other gentleman who he was talking to basically was saying that, oh, all these women should choose better, or things like that. And again, like I say all the time, everybody's situation and circumstance is different, but the end result is the same. The end result is the man gets to go and do whatever he wants to do and leave the situation that he also in part created with the woman, and leave the children that he also created with the woman, despite whether the relationship is intact or whether the relationship ended. The perfect excuse that men like to say is, oh, well, your previous children aren't my responsibility because you should have chose better, or women are in the situations that they're in because they should have chose better. And that choosing better type of narrative is pointless, because everybody's situation is not the same and everybody's circumstance is not the same. But the result is that this is a issue that plagues the community, and choosing better conversation is more so of like a blaming tactic than a solution. And in that interview, Dr. Umar was providing a solution, which is take on the responsibility of building with, mentoring, helping, and shaping a young black fatherless boy within the community that you know of. You don't have to be like no grand helping, does not have to be like on a grand stage or a grand gesture. It's the smallest of things that impact other people's lives. And it's the smallest of things that if one person do it and then another person do it, the domino effect could really reshape the community and have some major impact within the community. But that's not how it's handled. Women can pull together and stand in the gap for each other and handle, the children for each other, and, you know, do all of that stuff for each other. But at the end of the day, when the outcome isn't perfect and pristine, they get the blame for the result when they've literally been given absolutely nothing to work with. So again, I think a lot more respect needs to be shown to the women that stand in the gap in these situations, because the easiest thing to do is to walk away. The easiest thing to do is to say, oh, well, I got a life to live also. That's easy. But again, everybody doesn't get to do the easy things. Mind you, there are women on the other side of the conversation who are the ones that leave and all of that. That is definitely a major thing. That's why I said the aunties, the grandmas, it's generational that women have been standing in the gap to feel the need in the community. Because it's so many systemic factors that are plagues within the community that not just affect men, they also affect women as well. And it's a domino effect that impacts generations on top of generations. And a lot of people within, my age group, or the millennial age group right now, a lot of them can attest to the fact that, they were raised by their grandmas and aunties and things like that, because our generation was heavily, heavily impacted by the crack era, within the community. And so that took the fathers out of the homes, and that created the issues that around, drug use and the Black family unit being systemically destroyed, So, and then right now we're seeing that opioid crisis that's going on or whatever. And it's just so many systemic factors. It's never just, a one size fits all situation. It's never just like a cookie cutter response or whatever. So I think that when people try to criticize the job that's done but are absent for the entire thing, is redundant. Like, you have no opinion on a situation because you're absent. And again, I know that's also a psychological effect, going on within the community. Again, male or female, I say all the time that being a deadbeat parent is the highest form of self-hate. That's the highest form of self-hate. You hate yourself so much that you can't even nurture the life that you created from yourself. That's really what the stem and the core of the deadbeat dad thing is that even when you have the opportunity to do a different thing and create a new narrative within your life and within the community, the easy thing to say is, oh, I got a crazy baby mama. I got a crazy ex-wife. That's why I am absent. That's the easy thing to say, but it's never anything that is reflective as far as what am I doing? What am I doing, and what can I do better with or without the relationship with the mother? So again, I could talk for hours and hours about this topic, but what I see as a firsthand, you know, as a single mother firsthand in the community is that narrative of mentorship and helping Black boys not become the Pookies and the Ray Rays that Dr. Umar was discussing in that interview is basically misused. Again, people see Black single mothers as targets and as desperate. So when men do come into the picture, they try to use the fact that that woman is single with a child to basically be self-serving. If they can't get with the mother in a relationship type of way, in a sexual type of way, in an intimate type of way, then they could care less about that male child that's there that needs mentorship, that needs, you know, a father figure, that needs a strong male Black figure in their life. If they can't sleep with the mother, if they can't have whatever relationship, whatever situation they want to have with the mother, then they could care less about the Black community. They could care less about building. They don't give a damn about that. If it's not their own children, if they can't serve themselves within the situation, it's no genuine, I wouldn't say no, there is very, very limited genuine interest in helping other Black boys from Black men in the community if it's not their own children. If they cannot serve themselves in the process, that's just a fact, you know. And it's always, again, criticized from the role that the women play in the community of just holding it together. And then it's like, oh, well, you don't got no man. You could have moved on and get a man if you wasn't masculine and if you wasn't this and you wasn't that. Again, that's another blame tactic. Another blame tactic. And the truth of the matter is that Black women have had the whole community on our back for generations. And all we ever seem to really get is criticized from the job that's done from the absentee people. That's the funny part about it is you can talk all the shit you want to talk, but you're absent. And if you are present in your children's life, that's all that you're present in. Black men need to hold other Black men accountable in the community the way it used to be. Other Black men in the community back in the day would check other men about their behavior. And I feel that that level of being able to check another man about the type of man that he's being is absent. It's glorified in some friend groups to be deadbeats. It's glorified in some friend groups to have 6 or 7 baby mamas. Sir, your check cannot and is not doing what you think it's doing in those households. I promise you, your $40 in child support is not holding it down. I promise you. So the money that is complained about, the child support that's complained about, that is most of the time never even really paid or paid inconsistently. That I could make a whole another video about child support. The role that the men think that they're doing and the level of impact that they think that they're having is more so on the negative side than the positive side of impact. Are you having a positive impact on someone else's life, on another Black boy that will grow into a Black man? So this Pookie and Ray Ray narrative can be eliminated. And most of the time the answer is no. Because the community is so divided that everybody, if it's not their own children, and a lot of times, even if it is their own children, they're out to serve themselves and not serve the community. Not stand in the gap, not feel the need that is present in the community without them personally getting a benefit from it. People can argue with it all they want to. It's just my observations, it's my opinions, it's what I see. And the blame game, the divide and conquer game, the gender war games of, well, this is your fault and this is y'all fault, and all of that can be perpetuated all you want to. But the truth of the matter is, if it wasn't for the moms, the aunties, and the grandmas that's been standing in the gap for the past 50, 60 years, as the Black family structure has been systemically destroyed, can't talk, then just be quiet. If you don't have any positive impact to show and prove, be quiet about it. It's so easy to criticize a job that you're not doing. All right, those are just my thoughts, just to kind of, part two to my single mother conversation from last week. Let me know what you think in the comments. Bye.